de-risking is in full swing, and David Lynch quotes Lawrence Summers in it, talking about Biden and saying of Biden's trade policy that it is increasingly dangerous. So, Keith, my first question to you is, how much do you agree on that?
Well, thank you very much, Chuan Wei, and it's a great pleasure to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, David is a good friend. He's actually working on a book right now about globalization and how we got to where we are. And I would say that the world has become ever more complicated. And if you think back 8 decades ago to the creation of the multilateral system and the international organizations that have underpinned it during that period of time, you'll recall that that architecture was born of crisis, actually 3 crises, 2 world wars and a Great Depression. And it actually took the 3rd crisis for people to get their act together. Because the way that they responded after the first 2 crises was to turn inward and to adopt policies that were self-centered. And you will argue that that's what a government should do. Look after itself, its government, its people first. And I would argue that what came afterwards, the creation of this international architecture, what became the WTO was first the GATT, but also the Bretton Woods institutions and the United Nations,
IMF,
IMF and the World Bank, was something bigger than any one country. It was about multilateralism. And at the time, this was quite a novel notion, but it was clear that the direction people were going was leading to catastrophe. It doesn't get much worse than 2 world wars and a Great Depression. And so they decided to do things differently. Well, now we are facing a period of crisis as well, crises, polycrises, as some people refer to it. And I'm afraid that the reaction that we're seeing is, in some respects, reminiscent of what happened in the 20s and the 30s.